Okay, for those watching live, welcome to Grow Your Profit Share Tree. Thank you for being in the room. I got one person here for now. However, this is sunny South Florida, so random people are going to walk in while we're teaching, one or two people. And the whole focus today is on helping you grow passive income, right? And that's really what we're going to focus on and teach you what is profit share. How does it work? You know, you just joined us. And when you joined, who did you name as your sponsor when you joined? Okay, so, and the reason I mention this is because everybody who joins Keller Williams is here because of somebody. Yeah. And the part of that is because we reward our agents by giving back in what we call profit share, which is the owners of the company, instead of putting all the money in their pocket, share back almost 50% of their own profits with agents for helping the company grow. And we do this across all of the US and Canada. And then we do internationally, we have something called growth share we're going to explain as well, which is in another country. And we have franchises now in, I believe, over 40 countries as it keeps growing. And those people are all here because of someone. And it's really powerful here. So we'll start with a little bit about me. You might know a little bit about me. So this is my life up on the screen. So the middle is my family. I am a funkle, the fun uncle of 8 nieces and nephews. I've got my 2 dogs, Lucky and Lady. I've spoken at Keller Williams International, at Mega Camp and stuff around technology. So my job is the Director of Tech Innovation. I'm a labs advisor. That's that group on the right of people. And then I'm also a CEO of my own team, which is me and an admin and handling referrals and selling and doing real estate. I've been in real estate 10 years now. This is going into my 10th year. So I've been through ups and downs, not through a shift. So as we're going into this, it's interesting. And I just wanted to share a little bit about me. And one of the biggest things we're going to do today is on the back of your sheet, you're going to see that you have it on the handout is anybody watching live or in person is I need your help with reviews. So one of the things that I'm working on is Keller Williams has only 140 approved trainers across the country out of 180,000 agents. So my goal for years has been to get into this group of people, and I'm almost done with my application process. So people who fill out the survey today, we'll do it at the end of the class. We'll be able to do that. So if you're watching live, fill this out along the way if you want, or wait till the end. And you in the room before you leave, we'll make sure you do that as well, because that each one helps me get there closer. So I'm more than halfway there. So what are we going to learn today? So we're going to talk about what we're going to learn. We're in the welcome stage of it here. And at the end of the day, you need a plan. So we teach you business plans just in general. You want to sell you want to make $100,000 in this area, you need to sell about 10 to 14 homes. And it's possible, right? And we explain that. So the goal is to have a plan for passive income. And passive income is just you getting money for doing nothing, right? In essence. So we're going to talk about that. Why we have profit share. How does it work? Because I think people don't understand it. And that's a lot of why they don't go to get it. And then we're going to talk about how you could build your own tree. And you're going to walk out with a plan today on how you could start building that in. Now, when you did your license, did you do it online or in a school? Perfect. So you were in class with other people. Where did they go? Exactly. So we don't know where they went yet. One of the opportunities you're going to learn is either reaching back to those people. There's so many ways to talk to others in real estate. And in the event they weren't happy where they were and they found they could be happier here, that could be a way you can grow your profit share tree fast. So we'll come up with a plan for that at the end of names that you can have. Make sure people are messaging me. Awesome. So that's kind of what we're doing. And at the end of the day, let's ask, what do you want to learn about this? So I'm guessing you don't know what profit share is, right? Do you? It's okay. So we want to know what is profit share. Is there anything else you want to learn?
Like how Israel makes it grow, what's the most efficient?
Perfect. So the question that was asked is, what's the most efficient way and what are ways to grow this opportunity? And we'll talk about that. You'll walk out with some ideas and cool ways to do that. So I love that. So at the end of the day, you're going to need a plan. Know how to build your passive income. So a lot of what we're going to talk about today is helping you with a plan. So to fortify your business and your life with passive income, the opportunity of profit share. So Linda McKissick is one of our best authors, and she wrote the book Hold, which is basically real estate investment where you hold properties, and she's one of the authors on that. She's a 7th level agent, which means she doesn't sell anymore but makes money from her team. And she's actually our #1 passive income earner of profit share. And get correct. So last year, her and her husband got $1.5 million in 1 year from profit share. So there's money to be made. It made millionaires in this company. We'll talk more about that, but that's just one of the things they did. So the way she explains this is the realtor dilemma is the last day you work in real estate and take the sign out of the yard is the last day you get paid, right? Currently, as an independent contractor, there's no extra money put away for stuff. You sell your last house, and that's the last time you make money. So what we have to do is find ways to make money and how to do that. So by the end of this course, you're going to empower you with passive income plan, and then you're going to have knowledge and skills to actually achieve the following big goals. Know how to build your passive income, and then have a plan in place to activate your passive income potential. So there's a lot of tools online we'll share with that, and we're going to help you stay on track with this. So at the end of the day, it's just to help you to know how to build your passive income, and then have the plan in place is really what we're working towards. So this one gets asked a lot. Why do we even have profit share? Where did it come from? So because we truly believe that together everyone achieves more, and we are willing to put the belief into action, at KW, any associate who helps grow a profitable market center can be rewarded with passively, potentially long-term income without any risks or investing any capital. So you won't find this sheet in your handout. I pared it down to what would help. So we'll go into there. And profit share is exactly what it sounds like. We share almost 50% of every market center's owner profit with the associates who help to grow the company. And we do it because it's a win-win for who we are, right? Because we believe truly together everyone achieves more. So when Gary Keller and the first ALC, Agent Leadership Council, created profit share system, they were purposely making a bold statement. Gary Keller explains, we created a program that would treat our real estate sales associates like legitimate partners in the business. We created a program that allows associates to build a business inside a real estate company that is as powerful as if they own their own company. So I don't know if you had a chance to listen to a podcast called Think Like a CEO. So it's okay. This is new. You just joined us. So now you know about it. In the podcast, Gary has 2 seasons of this now, and they're not long. They're like 15, 20-minute sessions. And he basically talks just in general, his own journey, what he does to think like a CEO, which we'll talk about, which is creating energy, engaging talent, and then the maximizing your opportunity is the acronym for CEO. And what I love about it is Gary shared with us that when he first formed the company, he quit a big major company because they didn't think the agent was important. The company said, we're the master, right? We're the one in charge, and the agent works for us. And Gary says, I don't think that's right. They're the ones going out to get the appointments. They're the one building the relationship with the clients. Our job should be to support them. So he calls Keller Williams a cultural experiment, where he said, what would a company look like? Can it be profitable if we put an agent first? Which is what we did. And we now know that that's true because we know it so much that Harvard actually studies Keller Williams' culture and profit share system in college. They have courses written on it where they're actually studying it. So it's a unique thing that he's done this. And what Gary shared with us when he first started this in around 86, 87, the market had crashed. Kind of a little bit of what we're feeling today, but like a really bad crash in the market. And what happened is RE/MAX opened up right across the street from him and took all his top agents right off the bat because they went to a company who told them 100%, here you go. So they just left. And he even took the admins. So he took the last agents left and sat down in essence for the first ALC and said, what do you want? What do we need to be to keep you? And they all said 2 big things. One of them was, Gary, we want to make more money. So that's where our capping system came from, which means we have a cap that once you've contributed X amount of dollars, you keep 100% of everything else after each year. So that's one way why cap came about. And the other part is they said, we want to be part owners. We want to share in the investment. And since we're privately held, we don't have stocks. So this kind of became in essence like our stock. And Gary started it off as a revenue share, which means every dollar that came in, Gary was giving the money first to agents to reward them, then paying his bills, then walk away with money. Here's the challenge with that. What is the point of a business? To make profit, right? That's really the goal of a business. So somebody called Gary out and said, Gary, you're not living your truth. You tell us that the goal is to have a profitable business, and yet you are rewarding the wrong thing. So Gary shared with us that by this point, when they did revenue share, he already gave away his decision making. He doesn't get to make the decision. The agents do. So part of the ALC is him saying, you guys make the decisions and we support it. So he had to go back to them and say, I'm sorry, I promised to give you money right away, but let me tell you about a potential idea, a profit share in the future. If we focus on this, there'll be a lot of money to give back. And we saw the stock market crash last week, right? Keller Williams has given back $1.37 billion in the last 20 years to our agents. Yeah, $1.37 billion has been shared back. $1 billion has been shared back in the last 20 years. Right. So it is sustainable. It is possible. And it changed our culture, because when we didn't do it that way, it got really weird. Like people were trying to sell and get people in the company, and the culture got really funky. And that's why we're a profitable business. This office runs no different than an agent would run their team. We're actually run through there. So if you ever get a chance, definitely listen to the podcast, because Gary, it was fascinating to hear, because I never heard that part of it. So it was really neat to hear that, because I mean, I've been with the company since 2013. So I'm going into almost 7 years of the company. I wasn't there in the 80s when this all started, right? So we're hearing it now later on. It was nice because Gary shares his own story versus somebody else telling me. So that one was really good. So what the heck is passive income? Passive income in general is just something that's completely, entirely, absolutely passive income, which is you don't do anything. You don't have to put money down. You don't have to have any legal risk. You don't need a lawyer or anything special to draft up. You don't have to put any money down, right? No down payment. And they say no recruiting phone calls. Well, there's phone calls, but not recruiting. So we'll share that. But the whole goal is it's money to get money without doing anything, right? And that's ultimately what we're trying to do here, is just to help people. And the income you can receive from profit share, your reward for helping the company grow, is an absolutely passive opportunity. And you get to share in the company profits like you're an owner without any risk. And that's powerful, right? I'm sure you've worked for companies in the past, or a job in the future. Has anyone ever shared money with you? Not the owners. Yeah, no. So it's a unique concept. So what is passive income in general? It's just money you receive without doing anything actively to earn it. That's why people have stock, and then you get stock dividends, or real estate, and it grows your asset, and you didn't do anything but just live in your house, right? There are different ways to build wealth. And what I love is that they teach you as a business owner, you should have 7 streams of income. As a realtor, we have 1, right? That's just the job. Yet no one in the world has gotten wealthy by only having 1 stream of income, and that's it. They got to have other money coming in. That's why the wealthiest people have investments in other companies and other businesses, right? So what we teach you here isn't just to have your real estate business. What other things do you have to make money? And what I love about this is passive income and profit share instantly made me a bit of an investor and a business owner. And now I have some profit share money I'm getting that comes in every month. And I'll share with my numbers in a minute. Yet it's extra money that comes in without having to do anything, right? It just shows up, which I love. So how does it even compare? Well, we already shared, most companies don't do this. Now, what's interesting is Publix actually does this, the Publix grocery store. And you might have noticed maybe the employees might act a little differently. Like they're prouder of their ways, they put it in because they actually get to receive some of the profit when the company's profitable. Yeah, so it's really neat that they have that now. They don't have the scale we have. They haven't given back $1 billion, but it's interesting how companies act differently when the agent or just a person becomes part owner of the company, right? They take pride, they act differently, they walk differently, they talk differently. So it's interesting to see that, but it doesn't compare. There's nothing else out there like it. And definitely not any other real estate company truly does this. So one of the things we have is called your CGI goals. So you just joined us, but we kind of talked this through in the essence of, at the end of the day, your job here is to make money. So if you told me, do you even have a goal? Like how much do you want to make your first year? Do you have an idea of what you'd want to make? Right? So make it the ability. Absolutely. $1 million can be done. That's why we wrote a book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And Gary wrote it because if we wrote the $30,000 realtor, no one would ever read the book, right? And it is possible. We created millionaires. You're going to see how that comes in. At the end of the day, let's say it was the $1 million profit. Well, here's what I know. In order for you to take home and make $1 million, then you have to have real estate closings. And we know how many those are, which in our world is about 720 closings to get there. So 720 closings, then I got to divide that between listings, buyers, right? Then at the end of the day, you need listing appointments taken, and then you have to have appointments scheduled to get there, right? So it works backwards. Where we say how much you want to make. So if I just want to make $100,000 my first year, great. So to make $100,000 divided by the average sale price, let's say here it's $10,000 is what you'd make commission-wise. That's 10 homes. 10 homes will make you $100,000. Now, profit truly also means then let's get rid of your expenses. Look at that. I probably need closer to 12 or 14 houses. Correct. But at the end of the day, see why we focus profit first. What's interesting about this is no different than real estate. So why we're doing this is because the goal is to help you fund your life. And a lot of realtors will tell you, I love real estate. And then when you ask them how much they made, I sold a couple homes. They're not making money. Not making money. I know just to cap in our office, it takes, depending on the price range, between 8 to 10 homes to cap. Capping in our area doesn't necessarily mean that you'll make more than about $40,000 if you only cap. So if you did like 8 deals and that was it, you wouldn't make enough. We know that because that's less than poverty level, right? You're not making money. So the purpose of the business and these conversations are to help you. So why we're talking about this, the goal then is to help you get 100% plus. So if you know the cap in our office is $20,000 is our office cap, and then there's $3,000 for international royalty, $23,000. Meaning if I receive $23,000 of passive income somewhere, I'm at 100%. I really don't pay money for Keller Williams. We now have 3 people I learned that have this opportunity. So Chris Toomey is the guy who brought me in. Chris Toomey is our top profit share earner, meaning he gets about $30,000 a year from profit share, which means he actually gets paid to be here because his cap, even though he pays his cap out of his business, he gets the money back, right? So Dory Santiago just did that. She's also our newest one who just received it. So she has enough passive income now of over $23,000. It's really all it means. If you get more than $23,000 a year, you're in the 100% plus club. So our goal is to help you get there. Because then if you look at it that way, our cap really isn't making money. Like it's not really a cost. It's business. It's business, yet most companies never do that. You pay them on every transaction forever, right? So the goal is to get you there, and that's why we want to talk about that as something to shoot for. So you know you want to sell $1 million in real estate at some point in the next couple of years, and it's possible, 100% possible. Now let's shoot for, by the way, I also want to get to the point where I have $23,000 or more coming in a year, because that means you have more in your pocket, right? And it's not really costing you $23,000 to be here. You'll get all your money back. And if you plan your business that way, and what would it look like to get $1 million in real estate and $1 million in profit share? It's possible. It's just business. So we're having the conversation to say, let's treat it like a business too, right? What else can I do to help generate this business? And we'll share with you, it's so easy to do when you're purposeful about it. So how does it work? This is really where we come in, right? So how it's going to work for you, and let me make sure which handout you have of this one. So you do have this handout. This will be your first page. Yeah, page 19. So how does it work? The big picture here. So at the end of the day, an associate joins the market center or an office and names you as a sponsor. So when you joined, you named somebody. When I joined, I named Chris Toomey. So then Chris Toomey is eligible for profit share, I should say. And then they pay company dollar, meaning they're not capped, because remember, if somebody's capped, there's no money for the company. So they're sharing only the money they make, meaning out of that $23,000, I'm sharing some of that. Once you've capped and you get 100% the rest of the year, there's no money for profit share anymore until the next year. That's why we roll it over. So you'll get profit share, and if you have a big capper, you might get money up the front and then nothing the rest of the year, and then the next year you'll get more up front. So we're going to teach you that it's not about just getting one person. So this is a bit how it works. Then during the month, the market center has to be profitable. Good news, 99% of all Keller Williams offices are profitable, meaning we have money to give back. There's money. Mo Anderson says there's a pile of money on a table, and all I got to do to get it is just talk to somebody, right? And it was explained to me once that if you go get a listing, you'll feed your family for a month. Yet if you get someone in profit share, which we'll talk about, you can feed a family for a lifetime. Yeah, because it can keep going. Correct, because now what would it look like if passive income's coming in over and over again? So this is how it works, right? The market center has money to give back. Then on the 21st the following month, so we're right now on the 13th, so in 8 days, I will get a check in my account if there's profit. It actually gets automatically deposited in your checking account or whatever account you want it in. And then after 3 years and a day, you're vested. So you joined us before April 1st because we're changing this rule, meaning if you're here 3 years and 1 day and you're receiving profit share, even if you leave us, you will still receive it. Correct. You don't have to be at Keller Williams to still receive this. You just have to be here 3 years to earn that. And 1 day, correct. 3 years and 1 day. Then you can actually will it to your beneficiary. So that can be willed to kids, family, charities of choice. It actually lives on beyond you and technically lives back two generations. Right. Yeah. It always comes in. So it's so cool that it gets you to stay here, right? And so that's what we'll talk about. So I've been here 6.5 years now, going on 7. So I'm vested, meaning even if I left Keller Williams today, never going to happen, but even if I left, I'm still eligible to receive this profit share as long as those agents still make money and still do the cap and still do everything there. And you'll learn that it's about getting that tree to grow. Now, what we changed is as of April 1st. So anybody who still joins in March is still good. But after April 1st, remember I told you Gary Keller can't make a decision? The agents have to. So we voted to change this rule at Penn Marine in February, which is our big national conference every year. So what we did is we changed it to now say 7 years and a day to be vested. So now anybody who joins from now on has to be here 7 years. They still get the same opportunity, just to be here longer. Still get it. If you're in real estate 25 years, this really isn't a big deal, right? Or 30, 40 years. And then they also did a rule that if you go to a competitor, you do not get profit share. So if you retire, you still receive it. Now here's why they did that. Have you heard of EXP? Real estate company. They're a virtual cloud-based real estate company. So there's not a lot of them around here anyways, but they're about 20,000 agents in the world now. They were Keller Williams. They took the profit share money they made over $1 million and they opened a brokerage. So they took pieces of Keller Williams and opened it up. Now I'm not bad-mouthing them anyway. I'm just saying that's what happened. So the interesting thing is it doesn't feel right to receive money from Keller Williams as a reward for growing, and then you take that money and now you're competing against us. Correct. So part of it is the goal of profit share was always to reward people for the loyalty of our company and helping us, right? So this is going to help with that, and that's one of the things that it is. So anybody who joins from now on, if you were to leave us and go to XYZ Realty, your profit share goes away. Now here's the cool thing. Let's say you brought somebody in and they did that after 7 years, they were here, they did this, and they left. Here's the cool thing. That person that they brought in bumps up to you. So it doesn't go away if they brought people in. Correct. It just switches up to you. So if they leave before they're vested and they're not eligible, the money just gets redistributed. And if you're still loyal to Keller Williams, you still get it. So it should be nothing to be afraid of because you're locked into the 3 years forever thing. You're good. So that's just one of those things that they have there. Yeah. And they refer someone. Their person. Correct. They bump up to you. So you'll see, I'm actually going to show you my tree. And my tree, I had it where I had it a couple levels back. We'll talk about the levels. And actually somebody did leave and they had 2 people in their tree and those people are now in my tree. Just moves them up a level. So the good news is I'm happy you joined. We want you to stay. And if you leave and you were making money from profit share, it just makes my pot a little bit bigger. And the money is still there and then I can help those people. So just so you know, it doesn't go away, which is really cool. So how does it work? And don't worry about the math part of it. But this is what it works, is what we call 7 levels. So Gary Keller in his podcast explained to me that he tried different versions of this profit share. Like what if we give the agents, share with them 80% of the profit and we only keep 20 and it didn't work well. And so they found like 50-50 was the better. And these 7 levels and the weird numbers they have were just because they tried this out, and that's where it's set. So they found level 1 through 7, level 1's the biggest, which means if you do the introduction to an agent and they join, we reward you the most up front. Like you get a bigger chunk. You'll learn the money that's really made in profit share is at the 5, 6, and 7th level. If you grow your tree big enough, and let's say you have 5, 10,000 people, over all of this, the biggest chunk of your money is going to really come from the last couple levels. For what? Oh, I'll show you Linda's numbers of what she did. Yeah. You'll go, oh, okay. Because you want to know what's the best path and plan to get there, and I'm going to share that with you. So this is just one of those examples that they have. And one of the things they always ask, so the math of it is simply level 1 would get 50%, level 2 gets 10% of the profit share tree pool, whatever the money is. Level 3 and 4 get 5%, but then it goes back up to 7.5%, 10%, and 12.5%. So their example, and this comes from, we have a policies and guideline manual. So you will have this, it's available online. It's like a 80-page manual for Keller Williams. This is actually in there, and this is where I got the math from. So the numbers are weird just because that was the example. So the simple part of this example, if you look at it, is just simply if there was $216 to share to the people in this tree. Then the way they would break out is level 1 would get $108 of it. They get half. Level 2 would get $21. Level 3 and 4 would get $10. Level 5 would get $16. Level 7 gets $21. And then level 7 would get $27. So they have to distribute all $216, and they just split it up between 7 levels. So they just divide it between the 7 people based on the math. Now, the neat thing is the computer does it for us. We built a program that does that. You don't have to memorize any of these numbers. Just know the focus is first, and I'll teach you, the focus really is first, and teach that person to get there first. Because if you do that, you'll grow quickly to the 5, 6, 7 levels. And we'll go into more of that. So how much did we get back in 2019 now? This is in our office. That was actually in Aventura. So last year in our office, we gave about $280,000 back. Aventura gave back $46,000. Now here's what's neat. Aventura, before Alan bought that market center, because we just bought it in end of November of last year, or the year before. We're 1 year owners now. They had not given back any profit share in 6 years. They were not profitable for 6 years. Can you imagine being an owner and not making any money for 6 years? Correct. So Alan taking it back, while 46,000 doesn't seem huge, it's huge for them because now all of a sudden agents are getting profit share there. So we shared back 283,000. Our highest year, I think we did almost 400,000, but that's $400,000 that they're not putting in their pocket that they shared back with the agents. Right, it's just something there. Now remember, this works at all the offices, so if you have somebody join even in Chicago and that office has money coming in, it comes to you. So if we're all profitable, you can imagine how much money. So in March, Keller Williams International gave $77 million back to the agents as a company. Correct. It's just literally, it's just free money sitting out there. And that's what we're going to talk about, how you get it. So how much did Keller Williams give back? And on the back of your sheet here, second to last page of your handout, I actually gave you this report. You have access to this in Keller Williams. We are an open book company. So you can literally see all of our financials, everything we've done. It's why we do something called transmittal at the end of the month. So you might have noticed Christine had her door closed last week and had the door because she had to close all the books. Correct. So we have to close the books, and we do this because in order to give you profit share monthly, we have to balance our checkbooks and get everything paid out. And that's why we do that. We've been doing that for 30 plus years. So this report shows you as of 1997 till last year. So 97, we gave back $1 million in 1 year. Last year, we gave back $167 million for the year. And our lifetime is $1.37 billion. There's just money out there. Someone's getting a point. I mean, here's what I know. Less than 5% of our company actually makes this money. Yep, if that. There's not enough people. We have 180,000 agents. That's it. Maybe we said 10%, what, 18,000 people, if that, actually receive it because they don't get it. Some do, some don't. You all have the opportunity. That's what I want to point out. You all have this opportunity. Not everybody takes advantage of it. And I'll share with you my numbers. I didn't take advantage of it until after 3 years of being here. I didn't get it. And they always tell us you don't really get it until you physically get it. Like you get money and then all of a sudden you're hooked and you go, I want more. Correct. So that's one of those things that we have there. And then we have something called lifetime profit share. This is what the lifetime. What's interesting is, look, $1 million. 84 people have received $1 million in the lifetime of profit share that they were here. Meaning if I was here 10 years and I made a million, like we're creating 84 millionaires from this in the world. Now that's a cumulative, but still. So it's interesting to see that. And if you notice, the biggest chunk is 79,000 agents got less than $500. 65,000 agents received over 1,000. 32, see the numbers keep dropping off. So it gets there. Right, like it's like a sand clock, correct? Like it's just going down. People get, and they can get it here. So it's interesting. So I'm here. I'm now at $8,600, almost $8,700 in 3 years that I've received. So I'm on my way to be a lifetime earner of $10,000 or more. But remember, that's $8,700 I just got. Now, I would love to say I still have it. I spent it all. Here's my lesson to you. Open an account and put it in there and don't touch it. So I didn't do that. I put it in my normal. I had a savings account, but I could see it. So I kept taking from it and putting it in my checking account, and I spent it all. So I opened a Wells Fargo account recently. I have no checks, no online access, no debit card. I said, I just want a savings account, and the money goes there. Now, I've taken it out of there, but I have to physically go to the bank to get my money. There's more. Correct. So what they're teaching me about passive income is put it out of your mind. If you can see it and it's in your checking account, you will spend it. So if you don't have an account now that you just wanted this, and this doesn't work until you have somebody join anyways. So you don't have to do it today. But think about that. The second somebody joins and you know that they're in production and you're going to get money from that, just open up another account and something that you can't see. And don't make it in the same bank. Like go to a different bank, because you will, like me and like so many of our agents, use it. Now, it is free money. It was mine to use anyways. Yet, my aha is, what could I have done with $8,700 if I had it all today? Down payment on a property. You're going to find that some of our top profit share earners use it to buy real estate. They take that money to make more money, right? So I didn't do the smartest wise. That's why I'm sharing it with you. And so that you guys don't do what I did. And you can learn from that. So here's what I have earned. And this is me. Actually, this is a little outdated. It's missing the December. I only got like a little bit of money in December. But this was my 2019 year. So my first year, I didn't get it until 2017. So I joined right at the end of 2013. So I got nothing in 2014, nothing in 2015, nothing in 2016. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I didn't start getting my first one until 2017. And that was because I was agent services and I was helping agents that were new join, and I just got to meet with them. They came to the office. At that time, Alan was actually our team leader. He's now the owner of everything. He was our team leader, and Alan was just not available to meet with them. And I was agent services, so I got to meet with them. And they didn't know anybody. So I got the opportunity to be their sponsor. So that's kind of how I got into it. So my first year was $2,000, which is not bad for a first year. My second year was $2,600, and last year was almost $4,000. So it's growing. And look at my tree itself. On the left-hand side, it shows you level November, 6 in my first level, 3 in my second. But look at 12 months ago, I had 8 in my first level, 2 in my second, 2 in my third, and 1 in my fourth. That person left in the second level and it bumped up. So that's why I went. Now, here is the other thing. A lot of my people were new and they didn't make it, because not everyone new makes it. Now, you're going to make it because you're committed. You want to do this and just do the activities. We have everything you need. Not everybody's willing to do it. So the challenge with that then becomes start talking to people who are in production and help them get into classes and the training. And if they do that, then this really works. Because otherwise they will fall off and leave, and then you have to regrow your tree, which is what I have to do now. Because now it's dropped down even more and more people have left because I just had new people. Yeah. So it's just strategic. Now I just want to make sure I talk to people who are in production. Correct. To say, hey, have you thought about Keller Williams? And we have so much stuff for them to come get. We're going to talk about that. Because then you'll know what to say to them to get them curious. So I wanted to share what mine was. And we have this report online on my KW. Anybody can get these that we shared. And then there's something called growth share. That's what I was explaining. So profit share works in the US and Canada. So if I have friends, the profit share part works in the US and Canada. Growth share works everywhere else. Meaning growth share, we have South Africa has location. We just did Thailand, we just had a couple others that just opened. So if you actually look at our world map, we're in a lot of places. So if I was on vacation in one of these areas and I talked to an agent, just seeing if they're curious about Keller Williams International has a division that will connect them and see about bringing Keller Williams to their country.
So then you have two different ways of
Correct. Now, profit share comes monthly, growth share comes quarterly, and you get part of the region's franchise fees. So it's not like there's profit to get back. It's a little different. So basically, and trust me, they make more in franchise fees than they do profit sometimes. So if they were getting $10,000 of franchise fees from an office and you brought that person in, I mean, you could be getting $1,000 or so from the money that KW would be getting. So Keller Williams shares it with you.
your shares would be like $7
Yeah, it'll come back to it. It'll all convert. It'll go into your bank. But basically, you'll get a quarterly statement. So that one shows up quarterly. Actually, I found out an agent of mine, she just got her first one for $30 and is like, what is this? Showed up in her account, but it was her first growth share because she didn't realize one of the agents she brought into the company here moved to another country. I think she went to Argentina, sells there, made money because they rewarded her sponsor, and it grew from there. Correct. That's it. So you never know where you're going to meet somebody. My thought is, what if when I go on vacation, I just talk to agents while I'm out in the other countries too, right? If I ever travel internationally, just having conversation with people because we can go anywhere. Our company is growing. You never know if you're the one who introduces it. So I said Dory in our office just became the 100% Club. She is responsible for introducing the right people in Key West. So we didn't have a Key West office 2 years ago. Now we do. And she isn't the owner of it, but she talked to the right agents about joining Keller Williams. They named her. Then everyone else who joined named that person. And instantly she went from making a couple of bucks in profit share to now most of the Key West office that is making money runs through her because she was the introducer. So you don't have to be the most influential person. You can find the influential person. Right? So it's just something to think of is you never know when you're going to find that opportunity, which is really cool. So how does this grow? Well, we already talked about how when you joined, you named a sponsor, right? So for me, it was Chris Toomey. And then when Chris joined, he was actually brought in by Alan Waxman. So my tree goes back. Chris is my, I would be in Chris's first level, but Chris is my sponsor and his sponsor is Alan. Alan was brought in by some people in Pennsylvania, I don't know. Then they were brought in by somebody else. And if you really think of it like a giant family tree, everything leads back to Gary Keller at some point. He's kind of like patient zero, the first person of profit share. Now, he's not 7 levels back like it might go there, but everybody eventually leads back to him. So it's kind of like the 6 degrees of separation. You have 7. So you're separated from these people. It's interesting to trace your tree. So once you find out who brought you in, find out who brought them in and who brought them in. It's interesting where you see it go. So that's kind of how it works on when you join. But then, and that's one of the exercises that we can do is how far back can you go? Like I said, I can go back 2. And I've been here for 6 years. There's still people I don't know yet. But how neat would it be to go back and trace them? Like, who do I know? Who else can I go into? It's not in there, but it's something to think about doing. So that's you coming in. Now, that's great for them. They made the money. I don't get anything, which means technically as of today, you're not a stakeholder of the company yet until the first person names you. So even though everybody has the same opportunity, no money down, no one is part of the profit share system until somebody joins and says, I'm here because of you. So that's how we're going to get there. And then how we build the tree then is you still have your sponsor here, but then you and someone names you. That's what we call your first level. Then when someone joins and names them, that's when it goes back to your second level and see how it's starting to look like a tree. So the seed to start planting this tree, I would love to say is you, but it's not you. It's the first person that joins and says, I'm now here because of you, right? Because the first seed for your sponsor was you. But at the end of the day, for you to start growing this, and it's literally like a tree, you need somebody to join and say, I'm here because of you. And there's so many great ways to talk to people, which we're going to share on what you can say to them. So the goal is to focus on the first level. And if it's a tree, water and nourishment of it, it's just time. It just takes time. That's it. It's time. Think of profit share as long-term investment with no money down. But if you don't grow at it, if you don't water it, if you don't feed the plant, it dies, it goes away, which is what I'm at now. And now it's starting to die and wither. So now I have to go replace it and regrow it to get back up there, because I don't think my profit share will be that big this year now that it's gone backwards. Right, so now I have to go there. So the people who are in their first tree, we talked about that. If you want to get purposeful about it, you can certainly encourage the people in your first level to build their first level. And that's where I think the biggest missed opportunity is. So I have people that joined and named me. I haven't helped them grow theirs. Right. So that they can get people there. Because if I did that, that's when I start getting to that second, third, fourth, and fifth level. Right. So one of the things Chris and I are doing, because Chris is my sponsor. He didn't help me grow my profit share tree. Even the top profit share owner of this office still hasn't helped me grow. So it's an opportunity we all could. And if you want to get there faster, get someone to join and then help commit them to helping them grow. And that's how you really grow it fast. So that's one of the fastest ways. Think of it as like miracle grow for plants. Yeah. The fastest way to grow it is to bring someone in and then teach them how to do the same thing. You can still get other people to join and then help them. Right. So some of the top profit share earners of our company now, what they do, like Linda, doesn't actually grow her tree anymore. She helps everyone else grow theirs because it all comes back to her and helps her. It's just the right thing to do because that's the win-win. Just help each other and there's enough for everybody. And Gary has even said that the top profit share earner hasn't joined our company yet. So we're at about 180,000 agents internationally right now. We will be at about 300,000 in the next 3 years. I have to name somebody. And I know we're going to be there because of our systems, our models, and our technology. And the world is changing right now. A lot of agents are thinking about jumping ship and getting out. It has never been a better time to talk to people about Keller Williams, ever. Because if they're thinking about getting out, we can still help them. We have a plan. If they're thinking about retiring, we have a plan. Profit share is a retirement plan. That's passive income, right? There's other ways of doing this. So there's opportunity, and they're more willing to listen and talk to us now because it's not easy anymore. Now, you're in a good place. We're going to help you make money in this business because there's still money being made. The challenge is we had so many agents out there who don't know anything that it was easy business. And now when it's not easy, they have to work. They don't know how to work. You're learning how to work and make money in this business. And that's what will get you to the $1 million plus easily. So that's one of the things there. So Linda McKissick, talking about her, has a massive profit share tree. She has 9,000 people in her tree. 9,000. So if she has 9,000 agents in her tree, how many people do you think she has in her first level? 30. No, 30 people. She only has 30 people in her first level. Blows my mind. I'm like, wait, how does she have 30 people? And after 15 years of doing this, 9,000 people are in her tree. Correct. And here's what we know. So Linda helped bring it in. And what's funny, I actually heard this story just the other week. We have a woman called Monica Reynolds in our company. She was big on helping admins build their systems. Well, she's now the president of MAPS, which is our coaching division. Monica shared with me that actually she's the reason Linda McKissick joined Keller Williams, but Monica Reynolds wasn't with Keller Williams. So she didn't get named as a sponsor. So imagine if your person in your tree made $1.5 million. What do you think the people in that world is making from her for profit share money? And Monica shared she's the reason Linda joined, but she wasn't with KW. She didn't get anything, not a penny. She's like, talked about missed opportunity because she wasn't ready to listen and join Keller Williams yet. Wow. But she told Linda to do it. That blows my mind. So you could have been responsible for it. She doesn't get profit share. You have to be here to get profit share. So I've gotten referrals from agents who weren't with us who said you should talk to someone about have that person talk to Jay. Well, they weren't with us, so I got to be the sponsor. Right. They have to be here to do it. So there's strategies around it. But yeah, that's what I find fascinating. Only 30 people in her first level. So Mo Anderson shares with us that if you focus on building 15 associates in your first level and you help each of them grow 15, do you see how quickly this can blow up to a big tree? Yeah. So 15 is the one you want to target for. And here's what they taught me. If you bring in somebody who, let's say they're a capper, average yearly profit share, because there's no real math to it, ballpark about $2,000. If you were a big producer, I might get about $2,000 a year from you in profit share. So she says, If today you got 15 in your first level, in 5 years, you should be making $50,000 a year of profit share. So I set a goal. In 5 years, I want to make $100,000 of passive income profit share every year. So what would $100,000 do? That, to me, $100,000 for me was a freedom number. It's more than my salary. It'd be passive income. So if I wanted to work, I could. And if I didn't want to work, I'd make money. So my aha was then I need 30. So if I have 6 in my first level, I need 24 more, which breaks down to 2 a month. So if I just focus on 2 agents joining us a month, and I have them grow their 15 people, right, that's it. So now I have a plan. Now I need to take action. But I wanted to share. So that's fascinating to see that's where it works. So 15 is what you want to target for. And is it too late to build a tree? That's what I hear all the time. No, your opportunity is now. The best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. The next best time is today. It just starts. And I heard about it like just any passive income, investing in real estate, anything, it starts today. You can't control the past. Everybody says, I wish I would have bought back. Everybody. So start now. Just start now. All the time.
Real estate.
Correct. No, you got the head start. I started when I was turning 30. Now I'm turning 40. And 10 years in, I look amazing. Thank you. So no. I'm about to hit 40 next month. And I'm like, you know what? I have not built my wealth yet. I don't have a retirement plan. Now I have purpose around this. It's business. So now I'm planning business. Now I have 4 streams of income. So I actually get money from profit share. I do my training videos. I now start getting money from YouTube. So I've made $1,000 so far, $1,300 from YouTube so far. It's $1,300 of passive income for 3.5 months of me just doing what I'm doing already. So that just became a second business. So that's 2 things of passive income now, profit share and this. Now I'm taking that money and I actually have it going into my Acorns account so I can start investing in stock as well to grow it there. And I learned with Acorns because it's good for people that I'm not good at the stock market. I don't want to be good at the stock market, but I don't have anything in the stock market. So Acorn starts with $5 a week, gets started, and now I can build it there. So my aha was I'm just going to have that money stop going to my checking account where I spend it, have it go into there. I can keep it for reserves because I have no reserves if something happens, right? You got to put money away. So it's just interesting learning about wealth building. So no, it's not too late. So one of the things I want you to think about then is you've got a page for this, page 29. Picture your tree growing. And when I say this, is it could be somebody from class. Who did you take class with that, hey, let me check in with that person, right? If I even know who they are or still remember them. The other thing would be agents maybe you want to be in business with. Remember, it doesn't have to be in Florida. Who do you know that is a realtor that's not with Keller Williams? Anyone in the world. It can even be a realtor that you don't have yet. Like I keep seeing Gail Borden's sign when I drive down that Coral Ridge Country Club aisles. I know she's a big agent at Coldwell Banker. Gail, how are you doing? Let's have a conversation. I'm going to share the scripts, but that's somebody I can write down. So it could be somebody who's not in real estate yet who's thinking about it because there's always somebody. People think about getting in. In Florida, like 90% of the people just have their license even if they're not using it, the Florida real estate license. So just think about somebody, so write down a name or two, like who's somebody that you can think of or who would you write down? Right? Go through the Rolodex. Who do you have? It could be someone coming.
I would have to go back.
Yeah. That's it. Who's going back for that? Who's going there? You're going to have to take your post licensing. We're going to talk about places to meet people. Post licensing. Guess what? You're going to go with your Keller Williams badge and just ask them questions. Because they're going to go, yeah. And the simplest question, how are you? How's your business going? Oh, I haven't sold any houses yet. Oh, well, I've sold something. Right. I don't have to mention Keller Williams. Trust me. You just ask the right questions and they'll go, well, how's it going for you? The law of reciprocation is if you ask them a question, they ask you. One of the best scripts in just real estate is just asking somebody else, what do you do? What do you do for a living? I'm a plumber. I'm an electrician. Doesn't matter. You know what they always ask? What do you do? Oh, thanks for asking. It's a trick question, knowing they're going to come back and ask you what you do.
Yeah.
It's just conversations. So it's more fun. So then the question is, what would you do with profit share and what could it do for you or your family? Right? So if you were receiving passive income, let's say it was $500 a month, what could you do with that money? Yeah. What I'm going to do with that $100,000 that's coming in, I want my mother to be able to retire early. I don't want her to have a stress. I want to make sure our house is paid off. I want to take away as many stresses as possible. And if I'm not stressed about my income, guess where my income can go? Towards that. So the profit share could be used for me to then take my money I'm earning to go pay hers off. It's just passive income, right? So that's ultimately what it is. And why we do it this way is because if you have a plan around it, now I know the why. The why behind what do I need profit share for? What would I do with it? So the passive income, here's what I learned. Most of us probably wouldn't even spend it on ourselves. Your first answer was to spend it on somebody else. And that's great. Here's what we know. We need more money than we think we do. We do. If something got hit today, we got a virus out there right now. If something happened and you couldn't work today, where does the money come from? I've got my mom, my aunt, my sisters, different people freaking out right now what's happening, and they're worried that they can't go to work today. Now I have a little bit of profit share, but not enough to help them if something would happen. So my 5-year plan to get that 100,000 is also to build the other businesses. And the more I look at 5 years, I'm thinking I can make that 1,000 $1 million. Because what would $1 million look like? The more the money comes in, that's it, right? It's more there. And so what I heard from one of our top agents is Ben Kinney. So Ben Kinney has a big team, and he's the #1 agent of Keller Williams now. And Ben shares a simple model of what does he calls, in order for you to be able to give to others, you got to take care of yourself first. We don't do that, right? We give money to others and then we're still poor, or we give away money and we still have debt. So in order to be able to do that, I got to pay off my debt first in the next 5 years so that passive income coming in doesn't have to pay my debt anymore, then pay off her debt. And then the $100,000, she can live off of that, right? So it's understanding the why, what would it do for the family, and what could we do with that? And then once we get to that point, so how he does it that I love is first I got to get my house in order, pay off my debts and have my money be there. I got to keep investing and growing money. Then help my family pay off theirs and do that. Then once they've done that, then any money that comes in extra, now's the time to start donating to big charities and changing the world. Ben earned almost $20 million last year as his take home. $20 million was his take home because he has a big expansion team. And he doesn't sell houses. They sell it. He owns 10 tech companies. Oh, he's more than a millionaire. So imagine making $19 million. And what we learned is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book talks about how you have to think about $1 million, then you have to earn $1 million, then you have to receive $1 million, and then ultimately net $1 million. That's the profit. Now they're changing the model to say, what would it take to give $1 million? And the reason is, out of your income, you should be giving about 10%. So in order to give $1 million, you need $10 million coming in order to say, I've got the 10 to give, right? So it's possible. He's one of the few people probably can give $1 million. Yeah, it's interesting. So that's why we think about this. And at the end of this class, you'll have a page to write this all on. And that's something you have to go back home and think about. What would you do with it? What could you help others with? And what can you do with someone in need, not just with our stuff. So we also have our own charities. Now, what Ben shared with me is why I probably feel crappy sometimes, because I haven't got my bills in order. So then I'm not really giving money to my family yet. And then when someone, like even homeless people, or someone says, can I have some money? I don't always have it to give. Right? And it feels bad. He says, no, you got to get your stuff in order so that when that opportunity comes, you have the money to give. However, what can we do with that money in need? So one of the things we have in our own company is called KWU Cares, which is our in-house 501(c) charity. They're actually preparing for what's happening right now with the coronavirus and whatever's out there. If something were to happen, let's say you're a realtor with us and you couldn't work because you got sick and had to go to the hospital. It's a lot of money. You're not making money. We have a charity that would be able to help with financial money for that. So we raise money to help people when the hurricanes come, national disasters, 501(c) charity. Keller Williams Cares, KWU Cares is usually out before FEMA is ever out. We have a truck, we have supplies. So we've built our $1 billion business to now have an actual charity as well. So part of it is giving back. And what we learned, someone taught me this the other day on wealth building, giving first, getting to the profit, getting everything else, is actually how the wealthy people do it. They give. There's incentives, there's right things to do, there's tax incentives, there's reasons for it. But he said it's surprising because I think most of us think I got to earn the money and I'll give later. And he teaches you how to give a little bit to go there. But anyways, so that's think about it in need. So now we're going to talk about what the heck do you do to build your tree? Because this is what you're asking for. What do I do now? Right? I'm ready to go with this. So this is something we call, sorry, I skipped ahead of the page. There we go. To grow a massive profit share tree, just build a relationship and refer it. So your job is to relate with people and refer them. You never recruit. That's something that Dago does as our team leader. That's actually his job and what he's trained to do. I'm a person who's been a team leader. So I would be a person that's allowed to recruit and actually do those things. You don't have to. Your job is just to relate to somebody and then refer it to us. It's no different than a real estate referral. So if you're selling here in Fort Lauderdale and somebody said, I'm moving to New York, could you find them a New York agent? Yes. Could you refer them business to New York? Same concept. Who do you know that we should be talking to? And that's what we're working on. So that's the big thing here. Your job is to look for opportunities to help someone succeed. And that's easy at this company. We have everything they need. So the first thing we talk about is relate to everybody, nearly everybody. And that's going to be other agents you deals with. So you never know who's going to be ready for a change. Your purposeful comment or connection could be the catalyst for positive transformation in someone's life in terms of which company they're with or even which career they're in. So nearly anyone can be a potential member of your profit share tree, and nearly everyone would benefit from the value and opportunity Keller Williams brings. So look for other agents who are actively selling real estate and people who are not yet in real estate, or maybe they're curious about it. So that could be other agents you do deals with, your past clients. It's interesting how many agents say, I never asked my client if they want to get into real estate. Their fear is they want sales. I said, yeah, I remember the sale paid your family for a month. So what if they did join and they were really good at real estate and you got profit share from it? You'll still make money. And then you help them have a big life. Do you think they're helping more people? Right. So that's one of those big things there. So one of the things we want to think about is where else do you think we can meet people? So where else do you think we can find other relationships? We talked about the post-licensing, right? The board. You have to go to the board of realtors and meet with some of them and take matrix classes and other classes, right? Networking events, the different networking groups that they have, just professionals, young professionals. You're a young professional. We have one. So this is, the board has a young professional network. Just talking to other people. Here's what I do know. Anybody watching this live, people have asked me about young professionals. We have agents that are older than that. And they think, well, it doesn't apply to me. I'm 50 years old. Young professionals doesn't apply to me. It's for agents 40 and under. Here's the reality. Do I want an agent who's 60, who's going to retire in 5 years to grow my profit share tree? Or do I want somebody who's in their 20s, young, who's going to be in it for 20, 30 years to grow my profit share tree? Right. So the opportunity, especially if you're talking to that agent who's thinking about retirement and they have no plan, you could just plant the bug and just ask them and say, hey, you're respected in the industry. What are you going to do? Do you have passive income? Is something, you're done with real estate? No. Well, let me ask you, don't agents come to you and ask for your advice? What if you recommended them to a young professional group? You're the kind of, and they join and you help mentor them.
And that's how they get there.
Correct. Now it just became your retirement plan. And by the way, my advice to anybody watching this who's older, I'd start finding my protege who might take over my business. So not only will I help grow my profit share tree, now I can get help with all this technology, and then I can help pass my baton to the other agent. That's what doctors do. Doctors can sell their practice. So a doctor's office who's retiring typically will sell his practice to a younger doctor, and then they'll work side by side for a year or two before the doctor steps out to build relationships. It's a business. So that's something that, not that you would have to explain it, that's something as a team leader or a leader, I would have that conversation with somebody who's thinking about retiring. So let's say it's a woman named Sharon, and Sharon's been in the business 40 years and she's 60. She's got 5 years left till she hits retirement stuff. Well, Sharon, what's your plan when you retire? Oh, I'm going to work on this forever. Oh, so you're going to keep selling 30 homes a year when you're 70? What's your plan? So let's talk to you about a plan, right? What would that look like? And what I heard from a lot of these older agents in my last profit share class I taught was, I want to protect my own family. I want to make sure they have money coming in, right? If I have medical costs, I want to make sure it's taken care of. So let's talk about your passive income. We got to build that up for you. And we have a plan for that. It's really some of those scripts. So the big thing is, what the heck do I say? You're going to be surprised. It's actually really easy. You want to know the easiest script in the world? Hi. You got it. Hi. That's it. Best script in the world. It starts a conversation. You know how many agents are so afraid of what to say they don't talk to anybody? I've been one of those. I still have. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't want to talk to them. You don't make any business that way. Got to have a conversation. Start the conversation. So it's remarkably simple to build a relationship by being sincere, honest, and yourself. That's it. All you need to do is start the conversation. We already said that. Hi, how are you doing? Set a time to meet. Let's meet for coffee. Let's talk about business, right? And then look for opportunities to help. We're going to give you some questions to say, what are your challenges in your business? I promise you they have challenges. Every agent has challenges. You all come to us with challenges. So I know outside agents do too. And then you refer them to the team leader once you know what that is. So to start the conversation, Linda McKissick shares with us that there's 2 ways. Share a compliment. It's easy. You want your best generic compliment? I appreciate your professionalism. It's so great working with you in this industry. Simple. It could be something nice. I love your plaid shirt. Blue's my favorite color. How are you doing, right? Just people like to feel good. Start with a compliment. You know, we're so easy to run and criticize and complain. People don't want that. They're not going to run towards you. So compliment them and then ask them for input or expertise, right? I'm a newer agent. I would love to get your opinion on my listing presentation. Here's something I put together. What do you think? People eat that up. I value you. I think you're great. I'd love to know your opinion. You know, you can do this with any co-op agent. I do this with the agent when I'm not sure about the price. Wow, I'm not sure I'm getting, how'd you come up with your price? What was the strategy you used, right? I'd love to find what a master realtor does to do this. Just asking for them. So my advice, let's add them to command. I blocked it out. This is an actual agent I met at an open house. I was holding an open house open a couple months ago. I got to follow up with her. And I added Ramona in my database. She came in, she was with another company. And while she was there, by the way, I asked her how it was going. She said, I actually knew about KW and she was with KW briefly several years ago. Awesome. So how's your business going this year? Well, I'm not getting the training I need and not getting the help. Really? Where are you getting business now? Like, we're just having a conversation. That's it. She gave me her card. I put her in my command system. And what I did is I tagged her as an agent. I tagged with the color recruit, but you can also say profit share, just tagging them so I know they're a lead. And then I tagged their company. So she's with Canvas Real Estate. It's a small little brokerage. Now, here's something to think about. If you think an agent who's producing is joining is big money, what if you have an office join Keller Williams? So we have what we call like a whole little small brokerage. So we have what we call an independent model, which is if they're a small independent. So in this case, Canvas Real Estate, it's probably a little boutique, 5-10 agents. The broker's working hard and they can't keep up with today's technology and it's probably costing them an arm and a leg. So we as a company can have that conversation. So my aha is, hey, Ramona, what if I can help you bring your office in? So what if instead of me being the one that they name as a sponsor, what if I get Ramona to name me? And then I help Ramona to have her broker name her. Then the broker brings in 5 other agents. So the broker grows his profit share tree, Ramona grows her profit share tree, and I grow my profit share tree. And I was just the conduit to bring them in.
So that would be like, so everybody in the office would be part of the tree.
Correct. And the cool thing is what works well for those small little brokerages, they're tired. They can't keep up. They have to be the person who pays the bills for the office. Usually they're not staffed. They're the broker. You already see how like we have those 3 things covered. If you're with Keller Williams, we can take care of that for you. Less stress. And Mr. Broker, do you want to keep selling homes? We can help you with that. Or do you want to be in charge of making sure you answer every agent's question? So there's a conversation here, and my aha is Gary Keller is making us as a company start looking at those small companies. Because here's what we know. They're going to pick a big player because the world has changed. The small brokerage of 10,000 choices is going away. It's going to have to because of what we call the tech revolution. And that is perfectly explained by this. You have an iPhone or an Android. Most people have one or the other, right? There's only two choices though. Where's BlackBerry? Where's Windows? Is there 50,000 choices in the phone? Hardware maker, but that's about it. No. So there's two choices. So Uber and Lyft. There's not 30 other carriers saying we do this. Now there's little mini ones that try, but they're not the big players. So in real estate, we have Zillow. We have some other little mini companies, and then we have a bunch of little brokerage brands. That's changing. With our app and where the world's headed, the technology experience, the consumer is only going to pick a couple players. Meaning the small company like this Canvas Real Estate isn't going to be able to keep up with the cost, isn't going to be able to keep up with the technology, isn't going to be able to give their agents the resources they need. So they're going to have no choice but to pick a company to go with. We can actually have them go with us and have them still be what they want to be under our umbrella. Whereas if they were to go to another company, the company would say, you have to give up all your branding and you have to be us. So there's flexibility in that. So our job would be find that person who's there. Who's that person who says they're frustrated? And instead of just saying, join Keller Williams, would your office join us? Who else do you think your office would want to join? Right? Right. Because that's my aha is what if I help those small people? Because there's somebody who's influential at that location or a small broker. It's harder for me to come out of the woodwork and say, hey, can we talk? It's easier for the person who's there to say, if you got us this resource and they took care of all this for you, I would stay on your team forever, right? So my aha was also put her on a monthly neighborhood nurture because guess what? That email about what our technology is a great way for Ramona to let me know what you think. Ramona, you're an agent. You've been in the business for a while. You used to be with KW. Let me show you what's new. Have you ever gotten this monthly neighborhood nurture we have? It's one of our smart plans. It's just an email that says neighborhood data. No one has it yet. So I can share that with her. And this would be our new website. Would you give us feedback on our new website? My aha is this is our website. We're focused on neighborhoods. This is Zillow's website. A little different. Neighborhoods focus. Zillow has no neighborhood focus. So a lot of agents say, I don't know how to compete against Zillow. Our technology would do that. We can let them explore it. So I'm not going to go through all of these. The goal is to point out that our website and our technology is so different now. Find out what they're doing. And what about the new KWU app? Share your app. Hey, Ramona, it's so great seeing you at that open house. I always love getting opinions from professionals that I respect in the industry. That's what I got to do with her. Would you look at my app and let me know what you think? Sign up for a quick account. I won't bother you, I promise. Just sign up and let me know. Because then I can show her that she signed up on my app. She looked at 5 homes, and I can go into my command, and next time I talk to her, I can actually show her my command where I saw that she was logged in. She did this, she did that, she did that. And she will be blown away and say, okay, how do I get that? Because no one has that. So our technology has never been easier. Trust me, last year we didn't have any of this. So telling people we have tech coming wasn't easy. This is easy. It's easier. So those are some things to do. And ultimately your goal is to set up an appointment and a time to meet. So that's one of the easiest ways to just say meeting face-to-face, whether it's for coffee, a training event, a book club, or an incredible opportunity for synergies between an experience, right? Ramona, I think you're a great agent, and I don't know if you'd benefit from this. I'm going to a great class to learn how to take more listings. Do you want to come with? So at Keller Williams, every one of our training classes is open to anybody. You don't have to be with Keller Williams. We got a lot of great guests. You know why? Because Keller Williams can't be explained. You'll try to tell somebody what Keller Williams is like, and they'll say it's a cult. They'll call it weird things. You're weird. They can't comprehend that a company would put people first. They can't, because the world has never done that. Not really. So we found if they come to a class or a training event or family reunion or a mega camp, then they go, I love this. Everyone is helpful. They're so great. And now they speak a different language. So it's experiential. So the best way to get to them there is to invite them to a class. And we have tons of them. So there's a lot of things here. And some of the scripts you have on here for page 39 for you would be like meeting a co-op agent after transaction close. So let's say you get your first closing. Do you have one yet? Yeah. Not yet. So when we have your first closing, think about this, practice the script. It was so much fun doing that transaction with you. I really liked the way that you handled the inspection period. Thank you for keeping your sellers calm and helping us work out that transaction. Can we meet for coffee next Tuesday? I just want to get to know you. I have a small gift of appreciation I'd love to give to you. Is that okay? How about Tuesday at 10? Just conversation. And if you've never done a deal with the person, so I can say maybe it's John O'Flaherty upstairs. Hey, John, this is Jay. It was so much fun seeing you talk at the seminar the other day. Can we meet for coffee next week on Tuesday? I just want to get to know you and talk shop. Is that okay? Just let's meet. Invite him to an event. Here's a great script. Hi, Jay. This is Jay. Thanks for taking my call today. I'm calling about business. Do you have a minute? Great. Look, I called you because you were great to work with on our deal. And there's going to be about 10,000 realtors in Austin, Texas for an event called Mega Camp. I know you would be an agent that would enjoy networking as well as hearing the latest compelling research on real estate. Top agents from across the United States and Canada will be interviewed and will share their marketing ideas, scripts, dialogues, and more. I've heard that the agents who attended have increased their income an average of 2 times what they were doing. Are you interested? Right into an event. We have Bold coming up, right? What are you doing to stay in production? You've got Ignite. What are you doing to get into production? That Ignite is for 0 to 16 transactions. Have you done 16 transactions yet? You should come to my Ignite class. I'll teach you how to do that. So these are just great ones here. So get to know them, share insights, and support each other is really our goal as far as looking for ways to help them. So to look for ways to help them, check your mindset before you meet an agent. Because remember, you're truly there to build a relationship. So you aren't meeting an agent to recruit them. You're meeting them to get to know them, to share insights and support each other in the growing business. So number 1 is get to know them, share insights, support each other. And then you want to ask them about themselves to get an idea of what would help. Different agents have different needs. You don't know what they might consider helpful until you talk to them, right? As Keller Williams agents, you have business tools available to you that others don't. So you can share your tools with them. And by sharing your tools and business insights you're hearing in your market center, you can profoundly help another agent. There's no shortage of resources to share with agents. And then be open to any outcome. You're not looking for one particular outcome to the meeting. You're looking to build a relationship. If you focus on relationships, the rest of it all comes in. Our top agents, like we just got the #1 agent at Berkshire Hathaway. Again, we already got the #1. Then this guy became #1. And then he joined us. 5 years they went to recruit him. 5 years they built a relationship before he was finally ready to join. And he's a big producer. It's going to be a big payday. Just takes time. And I look at it as I'm not going anywhere. I'm here in the next 25 plus years in this business. So I'm going to be here. I want to make sure people want to stay in it with me. And then time will enrich the relationship. There is no set timelines. Real relationship require an investment in time. There's still people Linda McKissick hangs out with who have never joined Keller Williams. However, they've recommended people to join Keller Williams. Doesn't mean it's the right fit for them. So coming from contribution, there's so many great ways to come from contribution. This is an example of some of the things you can be sharing, like a CGI business consultation with your team there. That was that. I want to make this much profit, and what's the path to get there? The career growth initiative tools. So that was that chart we saw: profit, closings, appointments, listing taken, then appointments. We can help them with that consultation. The team leader can do that. Actually, Robert, our productivity coach, can do that with an agent who's newer. Our big producers, that's what Doug was going to meet with, right? The flyer that helps the agent keep track, just saying, hey, here's the flyer I got from one of my classes that just says, how much do you want to make? How many closings do you need? Keep track of it. You've got your invitation to the team meeting we can send them to. Team meeting's got a lot of great energy, good information. The agent trend worksheet, which is just seeing year-over-year production. GPS, we call that really like the 1-3-5. Think of it as your 1-year goal, 3 strategies, and then 3 tactics, and then 5 strategies. That's it. So it's your ability to look for like 3 main things and whether there's tactics there. A 4-1-1 is a 1 year, 1 month, 1 week for 4 weeks. It's just looking at goal setting. So those are goal setting tools. The One Thing book, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, the Millionaire Real Estate Investor, Emory A, Shift. We have tons of books that we've written. A lot of times the team leader will even give them as a gift potentially to agents as well. So we have a lot of great content that we can give. Really, it's just anything you get from here that you can give. So what else could we be giving to them? I say about technology. Why not start asking them, how many systems do you use to run your business today? Typical agent, I send text messages from my cell phone. I have my email system. I send them alerts from the MLS. Then my company has a database system. Then I have a contract system. Then I have another system I use for marketing. That's just 7. Think about how many of the systems they have. None of them have talked together. None of them are together. So you don't have to tell them Command does this. We're just asking questions. Then you can say how much you spend on technology a month or a year. Agents spend a lot. I talked to the Edwards Group upstairs. The Edwards Group made $1 million GCI last year. They finally got to that point. And they spent, well, by the time I asked Heather, it was close to $60,000 a year. I know it's way more than that. $60,000 was all she can account for. $12,000 of it alone was the database system they used. So I can take your $12,000 a year and lower it to $300 a year. So that's what, 11,000 extra dollars in your pocket. What can you do with that money? And that's what the team leader can do with that. But you're asking questions. Then you just ask them, how are you able to compete with these tech companies? Right? So we have a website called technology.kw.com that is open to the public for them to explore about the technology to learn more. So I still think it's easier if you just share the website. So this is the website, technology.kw.com. It's not bad for you to go just to explore. It explains Keller Williams a little bit. It was created so we can explain to the outside world some of our tech and give them some sneak peeks of it, get them into curiosity. Ultimately, their goal then would be either to meet with me or Dago to say, hey, let's talk about the technology. Especially if they're big producers, he and I will meet with them and explain the tech to them. Then it's about referring to the team leader. So suggest that they meet with your team leader or any team leader in Keller Williams across the country and Canada. Could be a natural development in the relationship building conversation. So Mo Anderson's kind of our culture ambassador. She was the first CEO after Gary of our company. She's why we have the culture so high that we did. And she has what she calls the script, which is simply, I love doing transactions with you. You are awesome. I told my team leader just the other day how great you are. He will be calling you to thank you for the way you do business. Would you promise to take his call? Boom. That's it. You can also be short to the point if they have any questions. So this is like objections. You know what? My team leader can tell you more about that. Because here's what you'll usually get. What's the cost? My team leader can tell you about that. What's your splits? My team leader can tell you about that. How much you spend on technology? My team leader can answer that way better than I can. Because you give them a number, it's actually no different than listing a home and someone calling saying, hey, what's that home for sale? You say 500,000, they go click. You give them numbers, they're going to click on you and hang up. Right. So you get them in the conversation, I'll have them follow up with you. That's an excellent question. They're skilled to answer that. Don't answer any of them. Right. So that's one of those great scripts there. And then how does our team leader receive referrals? For Dago, the best way is either to talk to him when you see him, text or email him. I've sent him a couple people. He's really quick, happy to meet with them. He's got appointment times ready. So it's easy to refer them. Other offices, my advice is always don't assume the agent you're talking to is really going to connect with the right person at the office. So what I would do is actually either call the front desk of that other office and say, how do I get this referral, or contact the team leader directly. Every team leader in Keller Williams is inside of our online directory. You can find them all. So if someone said to you, hey, I'm thinking about moving to, Phoenix, Arizona, you can go and see we have like 12 offices there. Great. What location do you think you're staying in? Let's talk to the right one, because our job is to refer it. And then they will be the one to say, okay, I joined because of you. And they will be the one to recruit. So objections, this is the big one, right? Just to clarify, you're not recruiting. So you're going to hear somebody say, I don't want to be recruited. Right. I don't intend to recruit you. I hope you're not disappointed. My team leader and I simply want to thank you for blank. You get it all the time. I actually, as team leader, got hung up on for this. I called an agent because my agent gave me a referral and said, I just did a deal with Sally. She's great to work with. Would you call her? So I did. I said, hey, Sally, this is Jay Cermak at Keller Williams. You just did a deal with Leslie Ferguson, and Leslie shared that it was awesome to work with you. And I just want to say thank you. And she's like, okay, click. Here's what's interesting. I saw her 2 weeks later at a board event. She came and apologized to me. I'm so sorry. I didn't really mean to be hung up on you. It was just weird. I've never had somebody call and say thank you. I said, you know what? I'm used to people not being polite in this business. I understand it. We really just wanted to say thank you. It was so great doing a deal with you. If there's anything we can ever do, we're here for you. And that's all the team leader will do. So if you tell an agent, we're just going to call and say thank you. Now they're going to say thank you and say, by the way, I've got a great book that will help you with your business called the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Book. You're free to come on by, or I can send it to your office, and it's our gift to you. That's it. Because we're building a relationship. Then we'll follow up. Did you get a chance to read the book? How's it going? We're the introducer to build the relationship, and then our job as the agent that referred them is to keep the relationship and keep building it. Right? Did you get a chance to talk to Dago yet? Oh, he's such a great guy. I just had a class with him where he was sharing some stuff. Blew my mind what this man knows. You should think about doing a business consultation with him. He's helping my business. That's it. Right? Just keep building that relationship. Ask them what they're doing. Invite them to a class. We're going to go to this class. He's actually teaching us a class next week on getting more listings. You should come with us. Come to the team meeting. You'll hear this guy speak. He's brilliant. I mean, be honest. If you don't believe something, don't say it. But that's it. It's easy. I think it's easy. We just don't always do it. What not to say. This is a big one, especially today. So you're a real estate professional. Here's what I'm going to explain to you simply, especially around social media. Don't talk anything political. Don't take sides. Taking sides on any issue will have half of your clients not like you. Yep. You can't. You're a business owner. Now, I know people are going to say freedom of speech. I'm not allowed to do this. You have to be careful. Same thing when it comes to recruiting. Never say anything negative about their company. Now, I've worked at other companies. Even when I mentioned EXP in this class, I'm not here to badmouth them. I'm just explaining they were formed with this, and here's what they did. It's just the facts. So I'm not here to say anything bad about it because they won't like that. You don't know. And if they're going to hear that, they're going to think you're just doing that. And never say anything negative about another person's broker. Oh, that broker's horrible. Oh, I hated working for them. Even if you work there. It's not the right thing to do. Ask them more questions. And anything negative about what you think they might be experiencing. Wow, that sounds difficult. That's it. If I were in your shoes, I would be mad. I would go. No, that sounds difficult. They just want empathy. Most people just want to be heard. So these are things what not to say. And we won't do that part of it. So how do you follow up with people? This is the easy one. Connect with an agent on social media. Now, don't do this unless you've actually talked to them, because then it's weird stalking. Right. No, it's easy. People are online somewhere. Right? Where are you online? How can I connect with you best? Once I've met an agent, I'm usually one to connect with them. Now, I also connect with agents for referrals outside of here. I have agents all over the world that are my friends. 99% of my Facebook is realtors, but I make money from YouTube for being realtors, and I can refer business to them. So there's a relevancy for that. Call the agent, invite them to a class, track when you contacted the agent and when we talk to them next. So the cool thing is in Command, we have smart plans. One of them is called a quarterly call plan. It just reminds you to call them today and then reminds you to call them every 90 days. I would put the agents on that. Even if you created your own, you can create your own smart plan now. We're going to teach that in 2 weeks. So a smart plan would be, you know what, maybe I just want to call them once a month. I can literally set a reminder to say, Jay, don't forget to call Ramona this month. It's been a month, check in with her again. Don't forget to send her this. So my next thing to do is I got to build a profit share smart plan that just reaches out to them. Hey, Ramona, hope everything's well. It was so great seeing you at the open house last time that we met. I'm just curious if you'd love to come to my next event. Ask a question, just let it be there. We have text messaging, all kinds of stuff, right? And then I can use Command to track the fact that we're having those conversations. If it's my business, it's no different than what I'm doing with the clients. And you never know which one of your clients would say here. So my other script now isn't just who do you know looking to buy, sell, or invest? Who do you know who's thinking about getting into real estate? Little script, just a little one in there. Have you ever thought about getting into real estate? Oh no, I would never do it. My sister is. Awesome, I'd love to talk to them. That's it. Remember, you're the connector. You don't have to answer anything. You're just asking questions. The other thing I learned, when you know the answer, don't give it to them. So let's say it was, I wish I knew how to take more listings. Oh, I face that challenge every day. You know what? Let me go do some research. I know people in my class had the same issue. Then it's a reason to follow up with them. I was thinking about our conversation. I know you said it was getting harder to get more listings. I actually just got one of my friends to share with me the listing presentation. I'd love to share it with you. He says he's getting all kinds of listings from it. It's a reason to follow up. And then they know you thought about it and did just give them a quick answer. I'm guilty of giving an answer too quick. Right? So that's nice and easy. And then ultimately we're going to build your plan. So on page 53, this is your homework. You can bring it to me next week. You can email it to me. I want to at least know you're working on this. This puts it all together into one page. So I want you to think about that. You already mentioned your mom. What would it do for you? Put a number with it. How much would she need to be passively free and free from stress? Does she want to travel the world? Does she need to pay off this? Does she not own a property yet? Would she need investment? Like, what would that life be like? And start planning that. And this can always evolve, but you're basically putting on here your why. And then how many people do you want your first level? So we said 15 to get to there. It starts with 1. Start with 1. So put a number there as a goal. And then what activities? So we talked about some. The board. You're going to do your post-licensing. Have you done your new orientation at the board yet? For the new member? Right. There's one for the board too. I'll have to go to. That's when you go to. Wear your badge. Ask questions and network people. Hey, how's it going? Who'd you join? What's your training like right now? Have you gotten any of your listings yet? It's just conversation. So it's having that it's one of those events. So I write down what would you do it with? And then ultimately, what can you do today to engage this? So you said you thought of somebody who's with a small company that could be the conduit to bring in those small independent.
She said she was in century, 21st century, and she Livestream to a smaller one. She did her training there, and she said it's just been a little bit of trouble. And then she got surprised because I was door knocking. She got surprised and she was like, wow, you actually door knock. So I was like, yeah, Keller Williams, you did this type of training. Yeah, I never expected it. Door knock nowadays.
Right.
Calls.
Right. This is a different strategy. So you started a relationship. Now it's a reason to follow up.
Yeah.
And just keep in your mind, because at the end of the day, every agent should be at this company. Now, not everyone will. Not everyone's going to fit our culture, but they should have the opportunity to have the conversation. Remember, this is just a conversation. So build that relationship. Just build on it and say, hey, I'm going to the next one. Actually, do you want to come door knocking with me? I'll share with you some of the scripts I'm doing. Why not? Just helping out. It doesn't have to do every single one of them. Most people aren't going to try to steal your client with it. You're just having a conversation. See, right? Because that's what we learned. It's not scarcity mindset. That's why this company says, hey, here's my listing presentation. Do you need this? I'll share it with you.
And she explained that to me. She was like, yeah, people in real estate, it's always competitive.
There's enough for everybody. You know how I know that? Because you tell me one neighborhood where there's only one sign. Doesn't exist. Means there's enough choices for everybody. They have choices.
There's not always one person.
There's never usually only one. There's a couple of choices. Your goal is to be that person with follow-up and keep in touch with them. So I love that one there, right? And then putting in there a couple tools to keep in track with. One of the things that's not in here that I would say is at the bottom where it says number 2, put in there, I have a class, or I did write it in there. There's a group called Grow Your Profit Share Tree on Facebook. So we have a guy named Aaron Kaufman who's good at this. So join the Profit Share Tree Mastermind Facebook group. So those agents are purposeful about it. And Aaron actually travels the country teaching Grow Your Profit Share Tree. He doesn't sell real estate, makes 6 figures a year from profit share. That's his focus. You don't have to spend that much time with it. What would 30 minutes a week look like? Just spend some time there. But that group will share with you what they did. They have a lot of great masterminds. I get a lot of great ideas from them, recruiting sites, all kinds of cool stuff. So that's the best place to go to get the plan of who did this fast and how do I get there. Yeah, that's one of the best online resources I would say there. And then on KW Connect, we have a couple choices as well where you can learn even more. So what did you learn today? Well, you understand profit share a little better. It's free money sitting on a table to go get it. Just had to have a conversation with people.
Just have a conversation, a relationship, make the tree grow.
You know, it's interesting. You mentioned door knocking. Why not go to open houses?
I went to
So when I was a team leader, people didn't want to come to me when I was in Indiana because they were a very traditional area. Like they were not helpful in any way. So they were so cutthroat that I actually wouldn't come to my office. So I started going to open houses. I went to 80 open houses in 3 months to meet the agents because my thought was you weren't coming to me, then I'll come to you. And I did this. So when I sent them an email, they saw me at the board, their guard would come down. And I literally just said, I'm learning about the inventory here. I'm just coming to see. I might ask them a couple of questions. I never asked any of them to join me at that moment. That's not the time. They're working. I never got in their way if there's people in the house. I'm Jay. Just want to introduce myself. I love seeing other great professionals in the area. I hope we do a transaction together. Simple. Then the next time you see them, hey, how was that open house? And if there's no one there, I have a conversation. How's the open house going? Great. What kind of stuff did you do for marketing? I'm curious because I'm getting ready to do my first open house. Asking questions, right? So that's a way that you can take that door knocking, go learn your inventory, work in your profit share tree, and just stop in an open house and say, hey, I'm another realtor. I just want to meet other realtors that I might do deals with. Yeah. We just did the Young Professional Group. We're in a $7.7 million mansion in Weston. This thing was ridiculously big. Like it looked like a palace or whatever. Like, whoa, I don't go into enough of those. It's all right. We'll have it a chance again. But I'm like, because how often do you get to go in those? Like the new constructions, go to those. We have to go learn it. At the end of the day, it's your product. You got to have an idea of it, and you'll learn on the job as well. But it's why, and you can also do virtual touring. There's plenty of it. Start learning the different stuff. Right, brokers open. Great way to network with other networks. Correct. Yeah, Nadine's got a great one. Allie, those are great because what's neat is then you'll have agents that are there that you know. But here's what I know: Nadine's doing a brokers open. You know what she's not doing? Asking agents to join Keller Williams and building a relationship with them. She's selling the house. So I can piggyback off of one of their events. Now, I would love to say Nadine can do that because she has the capability. Yeah. She's not a purpose at that moment. Why not? Can't I go network with these other agents? What company are you with? Wow. And I might even do it as what do you guys do so well? Like, what makes your company so great? I would love to hear, what do people love about working with you? Start learning about it, right? Ask them. The pain point's easy. What's your struggle in your business right now? Mine's listings. What are you guys having trouble with? Listings, prices, awesome. I could feel that. And then think about it for your follow-up. I was thinking about our conversation about that. We've got a listing class with Heather Edwards next week. They just did $1 million take home last year. Her GCI was $1 million. Do you think you can learn from her? Want to come to the class with me? It's open to everybody, no pressure. And here's my learning from that. They may come, and if they do, great. I'm so happy you're here. They may not. I'm sorry you missed it. Would you like me to share my notes with you? And then I just take good notes and give it to them. Share it with them. Because then they'll have that FOMO, want to come next time, and you just keep asking. I'm just thinking about you. I don't know if they benefit you. Come to this. Awesome. So how are you going to implement this in your business? Gonna have a conversation. All right. So the last thing I need you to do, won't take too long. Pull out your phone and let's do the review or computer. You can do it on the phone too. So for those watching remotely, we're going to go to KWUeval.com for Keller Williams University. KWUeval, EVAL.com. This will help me greatly. And we're going to choose Market Center Training because it was in the Market Center. Our name of the course in the drop-down is Grow Your Profit Share Tree. It's not in alphabetical order, so you have to go past like Ignite. It was after that for some reason. And you'll find the G's. Grow Your Profit Share Tree, and then Instructor, I'm not in the list. So if you just scroll all the way to the last name, it'll say Instructor not in the list, and you can write my name in. I'll be in there once they approve me. And it's Jaycermak. If I did a great job, my name is Jay. If I did a horrible job, my name is Victoria. Every trainer I've been to does that, or they say, they'll throw somebody under the bus. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. You can be honest. I take the reviews. I've already at 4.9. I can handle a low score if I did bad. It's how we grow and learn. But the highest form of learning, you want to master profit share, teach it. It's how I get really better at understanding this. And you don't do it today, but just think about it at some point, teaching it. Right. Correct. Yeah, we have some good stuff. So next month, just to prepare you, the week of the 20th of April, I'm going to be doing a class I call Critical Industry Updates. Have you been to that one yet? Or I only do it quarterly now. So that class is meant for outside and inside agents to learn about iBuyers, Zillow, Redfin, what's the world doing in real estate. It's a really good opportunity to grow your profit share. So that agent you talked to who wasn't necessarily happy with their company would benefit from this class because it's not about all KW. It's literally what's happening in the industry. And that's one of those. So I'll get the marketing for that out there, but it'll be on the Tuesday. I want to say it's the 20th, 21st of April. So I do that 5:30 to 6:30. That's a great one I'm going to do quarterly that you can invite people to. You should come and then invite your friends or have someone come that's interested in real estate. It works really well for those who are more in production, but anybody can learn from it. The target of it is to help those who aren't, or who are doing production, who might not be sensing what Zillow is doing yet. Because Zillow's not here to keep us in business. They're here to take us out or make more money from us. I might actually change the name to say how to get rid of Zillow before Zillow gets rid of you. That's one of our tailors did that topic. Because that's coming. It's already started. If you've seen the iBuying and Zillow. No. We were talking about Facebook ads yesterday. So Zillow gets 160 million visitors a month. That's a lot. Only 5.5 million homes sell in America a year. So that's a maximum of 10 to 11 million transactions. So they have a lot of people, but here's what I know. Facebook has 2 billion people. So we're having a better job as a realtor without paying Zillow for their leads by running a Facebook ad through command for a few bucks will get me better results, cheaper, because there's more people on Facebook than Zillow, and they tend to be looking, and when they click a button, more likely to register for a lead. Yeah. So the goal is getting you off of that dependency because a lot of people are dependent on it. Thank you. All right. Thanks for those watching this. I will throw on the calendar real quick for those who are watching remotely. Thank you guys for joining us on this. I'm going to share this recording for those who didn't get to attend. I'm going to do this class again in Coral Springs next Friday, the 20th or so, from 2 to 4 p.m. if anyone wants to be in person. And the drop down for the handout we had to follow along is in the link. Thanks and have a great one, guys.